Oh, right. I was late for my second book, but I caught up today. Today I'm supposed to be starting my third book, and I am starting that later. But first off, I just want to do a quick review, not really review, but more like just a commenting on this book, Better Small Talk by Patrick King. What I really love about this book is that it's really informative. It's instructional. The progression is really great. It starts off telling you what is small talk, of course, and why it's important. So one of the things there that I remember clearly is that small talk is it's any part of conversation. So like the first step is small talk, like playful banter, things like that. And then the next one is like fact disclosure. You share things about yourselves that are true. The third step is basically opinion disclosure. You talk about your opinions on things, different things that you agree on, things that maybe you disagree on. Still, it's a conversation. And then the fourth one is basically emotion disclosure. So to me, being a neurospicy brain, I skip all those steps. So it's small talk, and then a good example is if you know all time low, we're already friends. There's no question about it. Essentially, if we're that, then I'm gonna go straight to opinion disclosure, maybe emotional. If I were to describe the three things that I learned from this book, it would be preparation, and then practice, then learning, and then happiness. 4 things. But basically, to be better at small talk or any conversation or any relationship, you need to be ready. So when you are called to speak on, or if someone asks you a question, like after progressing from the small talk, it's like you don't answer things like close-ended. So like you have like what he calls, Patrick calls in this book, kind of like your conversation resume that you need to update. And most people, I'm just basically talking about myself here. It's like hard to like update your conversation resume all the time because you're supposed to like do it every weekend. So like after every weekend, you have new things that you did. You're supposed to update that. Of course, like it's gonna contain things like your work, everything like that. But like essentially, it's what makes you, what makes your life interesting. So like if you have a good rundown of what you do and what makes you interesting, then you're good, you're covered. And then physiologically, it's like you just gotta talk to yourself in the mirror, things like that, or read an excerpt or read the book out loud. Essentially, he talks about like not all people are conversationalists, or it's like practice. So like, for example, like practice small talk with like people in the grocery, everything like that, because they're compelled to be nice to you, so you won't get, it will bring positive reinforcement to you. Conversation or like having small talk is basically learning. Like the key is to be curious always, because what happens is like it brings happiness to both of you. So that in itself is like your willingness to learn will bring happiness essentially, and basically it's a cycle from there. And what I love about this book is like it has some inconsistencies in it. So like I love that there's a lot of humanity in it. I really can relate to the book, even though I had difficulty reading it at first. But this book really leans into the humanity and gives you a lot of instructions. All right. He's gonna put the takeaways on the last page, like here on this side, and then it's just takeaways and a colon, and then you need to flip through the page to see the takeaways. Normally I put it here on top of this, but he put it here. But I learned that it's his style to like actually like you flip the page. But it's like this is the only book that does that, I feel. And then I learned that and I embraced that. Before I disagree with it, but that's one of the things that I talk about too, is like just be curious to learning new things. And if it's something that a topic that is like sketchy, like sensitive, or you think it might offend you, just think of it as if approach it like you don't have all the information, that you're learning this new information. And then maybe you'll have an open mind to it. And if it doesn't serve you anymore, then you just walk away. So essentially, he gives those tips, and then there's a lot of tips in here. Like there's something for everybody. That's what I love about it most. And then if you're already a good conversationalist, it just confirms what you do, and then basically put a name to what you're already doing, which is super great. And I feel like it encourages you and reinforces that kind of like learning, and then you can tell it to others essentially. So yeah, this is that book. And yeah, so I'm gonna start this tonight, hopefully. It's called The New Happy: Getting Happiness Right in a World That's Got It Wrong by Stephanie Harrison. I actually pre-purchased this book. I started reading this book like last year, but I needed to stop. Like I couldn't continue it. But now I'm committed to reading this book, The New Happy. And yeah, let's see what The New Happy is all about. I'm already following her works a lot. I love her social media. Really have high expectations about this book. And yeah, we'll see you.